What's going on, guys? So I'm gonna give you guys a quick update on gold. Today I have not taken one trade. Price has been pretty choppy, just trading from ranges to ranges, so I do not want to expose myself, lose money for no reason, or take unnecessary losses, right? We're just gonna follow exactly what we're gonna plan, and we're just gonna trade the plan, trade the system. So we're gonna do a quick update, quick analysis on what we can expect on gold. So starting off from the 4-hour time frame, right? I want you guys to pretty much focus on key levels to key levels, right? Because that's exactly what we're gonna be trading at right now. So looking here on the 4-hour time frame, right? Yesterday I had marked up these lows here, and I also had marked up these highs here, right? So if we come here on the hourly time frame, we can see that price action yesterday we were pretty much trading from these key levels to key levels, right? We did see that price at one point here came above here, rejected, we sold off. Same thing happened here. We came towards this level and we sold off. On Sunday, right, this is Monday market open during the late Asian session going into the London session, right? Sunday going into Monday, we did get a nice break of structure underneath these exact lows here, right? Which is this candle. Price session perfectly broke underneath. We got an entry signal here. Stop loss could have been above here, and then notice how price perfectly shot back towards the downside, right? Now, these lows here, if we go back into the daily time frame, we respected previous structure, which is this all imbalance zone, which is an area of demand where price action at one point, right, we did reject from it and we had a nice push back towards the upside. Price action picked up liquidity. What happens next? We have another push back towards the upside, trading above these other key zone, right? Which obviously there was more buyers into this area, right? Now, this is where we have to be careful. Just because price did this on higher time frame structure doesn't necessarily mean that we're gonna go bullish right away. Because now, if we go into the intraday time frame, which is the hourly zone, we can see that price, after having a nice push towards the upside, we rejected Sunday market open gap, which pretty much price session came here and respected it, filled up the gap, and what happens next? We fail to break higher. Once we fail to break higher, what happens next? We have another push back inside these ranges, right? So looking at this range, right, we're gonna go into the 4-hour time frame. We can see that the 4-hour, we did have a nice bullish break of structure, but price got back inside the range. So usually whenever price comes back into a range, these are the levels that we want to avoid, right? Because price is just moving from highs to lows, highs to lows. And what is the probability inside there? It's gonna be high risk, right? If we take, let's say, we take a sell here, like let's say if we would have taken a sell today, maybe from this zone here, we would have gotten a closure. Look how easily we could have gotten stopped out of this trade. Or if we would have just guessed because price is coming towards this resistance, what would be the probability of price action playing in our favor, right? It's gonna be very high. I don't like this range here. We're gonna step out of it, right? But what I do like is just how on the hourly, we're still respecting this entire red box here, right? This red box is an area of supply. We can see that as soon as yesterday price action broke underneath, we got a pullback. Just look at market structure pattern, right? We went from creating these highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, manipulate these highs, break underneath all structure, create a new low, and what happens next? We form a new lower high, right? These highs fail to break higher, and these highs over here fail to break higher here. And then price action once again, we create a low, we create a high, and then boom, we break underneath the structure, creates a new lower low. So this was the last point that was formed yesterday. This was going on during the Asia session of last night. Now, last night I was looking for sells underneath these zones, right? Most likely I was looking for sells if price session would have, broken underneath these exact levels, right? We were just waiting for price session to come back, retest this box right over here, which we did, right? Notice how price rejected, but it was not enough momentum, right? So what is most likely this called? We come here into the hourly time frame. This is mostly, or in the 4-hour time, this is actually called all liquidity grab. All right, so we're just grabbing liquidity from this entire huge imbalance that happened yesterday move as well, right? So the bullish flow from here is respecting, but I'm not 100% bullish just yet, because again, we're just going based on what happened in this entire week, which the trend is bearish, right? So why we're gonna try to, create bullish momentum if there's not really proper bullish momentum going on, right? So at this point here, we're just waiting, right? There's nothing for us to force here. We're respecting this entire supply, which is ideal because our bias for the day is still bearish, but we need to look for the right entry, right? It's still bearish. We are respecting all of this hourly zone here. So as long as price can trade underneath here, I am perfect still with bearish price action. Now, what I would like to see is for price to break underneath these lows. Once we break underneath these lows, I personally have a sell stop underneath here, which is the 43.05 zone. I'm going to be sending it out, but my stop loss is going to be above here. So my stop loss is 43.70. So it's something like this. I'm still considering it. I still have it active, but I might delete it depending on price action later on today. But I still have the sell stop active. I'm going to be sending it out in the free Telegram. But this is exactly the move that I have. We kind of go here, right? My stop loss was going to be on above these highs here. So if we do manage to have a nice momentum towards the downside, and then we do respect it, then this trade can definitely play out, right? Because I have my stops under my sell stop underneath these previous lows here, and obviously we need to reject all of this entire structure for it to actually work out, right? And then my originally take profit will be back underneath these lows. Now, the only way that I will delete this sell stop will simply be if price comes over here, activates it, but we close back above, because it can be just a liquidity grab. That will be exactly the way that I will manage my trade. Or if price just breaks above here, we break above these highs, we close above it, and we start building up bullish price action. Once we do that, then obviously the sell stop here is invalid. But as of right now, I will keep my sell stop active till further notice, but this is exactly what I'm going to be looking for. And I took the sell stop due to the fact that yesterday on the 4-hour time frame we had a nice break towards the downside here, which is exactly the level that I wanted, right? But again, this is just all liquidity being grabbed from this exact zone, so we have to be very cautious of high risk trade. But I do like the idea. I've seen these multiple play out a couple times. This is exactly going along with my system, so obviously I'm going to be taking trade that is based on my system, right? So all we need is for these highs to get respected, the next lows to get broken underneath, create a new low, and then we can probably see bearish price action, and then we can definitely see this happening. So that's going to be the setup that I have for today. Nothing crazy, right? On the 4-hour time frame we're still kind of ranging, right? But I do like how, again, we're respecting all of this. So this keeps me very confident with the sell stop that we have. Now if we break above it, then obviously we're just going to switch plans, right? And if we switch plans, we're just going to wait for 4-hour to break here, 4-hour to break here, so that we can target this, and we can target this one and this one. So today is just going to be a game of patience, and I will keep you guys updated. Peace.